Find out what conversations are happening around the poker table with Table Talk.
We are back around the poker table again this week with Elle. Hey, Elle, how are you?
Good. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. That's right. The days of the week kind of get lost for me now. It's just like Friday is podcast release day and all other days are whatever.
I know. You've been working really hard these last 6 or 7 months. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Well, we can't go much further without mentioning we are back around the poker table thanks to Rockford Charitable Games. And so huge shout out to them as well. I want to give a number out this week because for guaranteed cash game seats, you need to call Josie, and that number is 815-980-5502. I wanted to mention that because I know, things fill up fast. So
that's just their usual games they play, not the Amy Up Rockford Charitable Tournament that just happened yesterday.
Yeah, that's for their cash games.
Okay, fantastic. But we did have a great turnout. Hello, over 50 people used the password The Worm. So very exciting. Thank you, Annie Up Nation, for showing up. We're still awaiting results, but super, super proud of you guys. We still haven't got any photos, videos, anything you got from the tournament. We'd love to see it and hear from you. So
yeah, I did get an email from a gentleman that played in there. And of course, Bob Popper sent me a video,
but thank you, Bob.
But yeah, it was a great turnout yesterday. Final total of those that pre-registered with the link was 55. And so that's great. I mean, we're talking about 1:30 on a Thursday. So,
yeah.
I mean,
well done.
Huge.
Well done. And it always goes to a good purpose.
Absolutely.
Anytime you're engaging with Rockford Charitables, you know that you're playing poker for good.
Exactly. So also, we're back, obviously. We're back from Virginia Beach.
What a whirlwind.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind, but that concert was incredible. Chris Stapleton, if you have a chance to see Chris Stapleton live.
Yes.
Whoa.
Snag it. Even if you're in the back row, he sounds the exact same that he does on any recorded, whatever you want to call it, MP3, a record, any way you listen to him, I was blown away. I really had, I was excited, but I don't think I put any expectations on it. And he really knocked my socks off, if I can show my age with that phrase. We had and Virginia Beach Amphitheater has a super huge, long new name. I think it's a loan company that owns it now, but
Veterans United Home Loans whatever.
It will forever and always be the Virginia Beach Amphitheater to me. It's where I saw my first concert a bajillion years ago. But they've got that down pat. You park, you walk in, you go through security, boom, you're into the food and beverage arena, I guess you could say. Super smooth, everybody in a great mood. It's the first time I had been to a concert of that size in a very long time, maybe 5 to 6 years. Highly impressed with everyone and also just the people who are running the services there. So well done. And Chris Stapleton, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So really glad we went. The weather was not great driving there. The traffic was horrible. The weather was horrible coming home. But those 3 hours at Virginia Beach Amphitheater were the highlight of the weekend, and super glad we went.
Yeah, and it didn't rain while we were there. It's like there was this huge break there for us. It was great.
Yeah, very, very thankful for that. Definitely feeling the effects, if you don't hear it in my voice already. Hit a wall of sickness about Tuesday, still in recovery mode, but well worth it.
Yeah. And we did, on our way back, we stopped off at Portsmouth to Rivers Casino there. Mm-hmm. And what a facility they have. It's beautiful.
Yeah, very impressed. You can tell you're at a Rivers property immediately upon entering. You can tell by the look, by the feel. but very easy to navigate. I was impressed with just security, extremely welcoming. Have a great time. If you need anything, here's where you need to go. If it's your first time, let me show you around or give you some pointers. That's always nice to see, because those people at the door can be overexhausted from just, the monotony of people coming through the front door.
Right.
Really thought, I know this might sound strange, but the noise level of the machines on a Saturday afternoon wasn't unbearable. Really fun seeing the action around craps tables, around blackjack. Also, Baccarat, of course. I was really impressed with the number of people engaged in that game. The poker room was packed. Yeah. Absolutely packed on a Saturday afternoon. I don't know what the norm is during the week, but we really enjoyed our time. I think we spent, an hour and a half there. I got to visit the bar.
We didn't get to stay as long as we wanted to because those storms, we walked out the door afterward.
Sideways.
Yeah, the wind literally blew us sideways.
Yes. What happens when you're close to the ocean? The wind is stronger, but still, I mean, we took one look out the window and we got to get out of here before this gets worse. So really hoping to hear back from them and see if we could coordinate a tournament there. If you're in Portsmouth, ask about it. If that's your normal poker stop or room, mention that you're an Ante Up Nation member, and we'd love to see you and maybe get something going there with them.
Absolutely, yeah. And so then we come back and the WSOP wraps up. So let's
a visit from my mom. We got to show Big Mama what the WSOP is all about, and that is awesome.
Awesome. Well, let's take that a step further. Rewind yourself back 4 or 5 years ago. Would you ever have imagined that you were going to sit down in front of the TV and watch hours of just live poker?
Absolutely not. You have turned my world upside down. But I love it. I really do love it, and I'm so excited to bring even more of our friends and family into the game. It's been really neat to see. Even just in the last 2 years, how much people are interested in learning more. I mean, we have family poker nights now, which is hilarious and wonderful all at the same time. Our friends are wanting to play. Our family comes in from out of town and we have games at home. It's been really, really fun. So but I mean, what do I do when we're going to sit for hours? I make a charcuterie board, and we killed one Sunday night watching.
We did.
We really did. Thank you to Wegmans, if you're listening. Your cheese and salami board that we picked up along the way in Charlottesville because of the storm hit the spot.
And for advertising, you can contact editor at ftupmagazine.com.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was great. And I mean, honestly, that's the reason that I have been so passionate about this is I always said I want to bring more and more people into poker, and so what better way to do that than bring family in as well? So
yeah, it's been fun, and the ease in which people are picking it up in our family has been pretty impressive too, and the excitement that they have for it. I mean, Mom felt just as badly as I did that they didn't stop play after 4 people were around.
Oh yeah, that controversy with Jachtmann. Yeah, so in case you don't know what happened, Jachtmann, the German, they had said beforehand they were going to stop play at 4 players, and they got down to 4 players faster than they had expected. So they decided to keep playing. Now, keep in mind, here it was 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night, something like that.
11. So what was it there? 9, 8.
8.
It still doesn't matter though. You're in it for the long haul. Any athlete, any competitor has an end goal in mind, and they know that they have to achieve that goal. And when you change that goal on them at the last moment, not the goal, when you change the rule or the ruling, it's going to mess with someone psychologically. And I really feel badly for him. I actually do. I mean,
yeah,
he was an aggressive player the whole time. He was interesting to watch, but I honestly do believe that his chances changed because of that ruling. Just my opinion.
Yeah. I understand. I really, I get that. And I think that you're right. It definitely changed his mentality. You could see it for 30 minutes. You could see that he was not the same player.
If anything, I know he called the floor and the floor explained it. The least they could have done was give them a 15-minute break. I understand you're live, things happen, but you have that replay available. They're always gathering that footage. I honestly believe they deserved something to give them some moment to transition, because mentally it's a tough game to play. I mean, they've been playing for 8 days already at this point. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he even said afterwards in interviews, I was expecting to go out to dinner, to refresh my mind, to have a good night's sleep. So, give him a break at least.
Yeah. I think a break, you definitely could do something like that. But as a poker player, or with any sport, and we can talk about whether poker's a sport or not.
Next week.
But with anything like that, you have to be able to pivot, right? You have to be able to adjust. And so that's just another moment that he needed to be able to adjust. But I definitely do think it affected him. And I hate that something as big as the World Series of Poker, that there's something like that to say, oh, well, if this would have been different. But
I'm still going to disagree with you, because adjusting, it's a competition, right? So you have to adjust to the environment. You have to adjust to your players. There's so many other adjustments that you're constantly doing. The one consistent thing is what they tell you and how long your end time is. And they changed that. So there's already so many things that you're adjusting to. I really felt like they went back on their word as far as, we're going to stop at this point. That's my opinion.
I think that poker's not one of those things where there's a time clock, right?
There's levels.
There are levels. Yeah.
In a tournament setting. Absolutely.
So I think I don't have a problem with them saying we're going to play longer, because otherwise they would have come back the next day and everybody would have had, so many big blinds, so much more play in there. But I think that where the mistake was more in the explanation. What they should have said ahead of time, we're going to play down to 4 people, or if that happens really fast, then we're going to keep playing to the end of that level, or something to that effect. So that they're not, they always say under promise and over deliver, right? So they should have followed that scenario where you're not over promising, not saying we're going to stop. We have a hard stop at 4. It's a hard stop at 4 or this level.
And so I think they learned from this year and say that next year, but they promised and they went back on their word. So I do think it affected. Regardless, he did an excellent job. 4th place at the final table in the world record breaking number that came out this year is still pretty darn good. And I think he still can be proud of how he played. So,
Absolutely.
I do think there's going to be people on both sides of this fence. It wasn't up to us. The call was made. It's the same as when we're watching football in the fall. We don't always agree with the call. We don't always agree with what New York says. However, it is what it is, right? So you have to adjust depending on what's said. So I do understand it from that perspective, but still, well
100%.
done, Jachtmann. Holy moly, congratulations to Daniel Weinman. Loved watching that.
Yeah. And then, not just those two, like you have Adam Walton that brought that rock to the table,
right.
Cody Daniels' rock. And, when he got knocked out in 3rd place, then that was handed off to Daniel Weinman, who then took it all the way to that final picture at the end. So, that is huge. And I'm going to talk about that later as well. But I just, that's the story that I think we should be focusing on,
True
great stories like that.
it's not even a story. It's a true picture of community. And I think so many of us need to see and hear that that's still actually out there, because many of us feel alone and have felt alone for a long time. We've lost our community. We don't see our family or our friends as often. We're starting to get back into that. But I think we all can admit and agree that that story of community during an exceptional competition time is heartwarming, and it's nice to see that people come together in a moment of even competing against each other. And that, to me, is a huge testament of the poker community and the WSOP in general, that they would allow that to be there as the card protector, and they knew the story and they continued to cover it. So congratulations to all of you who were looking out for one another. We need more of that.
And I do want to mention also, as a side note, if you look up Daniel Weinman on Twitter,
yes,
he changed his name
so much. Yes.
He changed his name from Daniel Weinman to Daniel Win Main, which is incredible.
Brilliant.
I mean,
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yes.
Even if he didn't come up with himself, the fact that he followed through on it, well done.
I just want to know if he thought, someday I'm going to win this and that's what I'm going to do, or if he just thought of it spur of the moment.
Daniel, if you're listening, let us know. It doesn't matter either way. It was fantastic. So congratulations all around to those that competed this year. We can't wait to see what spurs on for next year. Of course, the event there, it was really, really nice to see Jamie Gold at the event, and he's the one who awarded Daniel Weinman the bracelet. I thought that connection was very thoughtful on the WSOP's part, and really nice way to end the competition.
Yeah. So all in all, there was a little bit of controversy here and there throughout the event. But all in all, great job to everybody there with the WSOP. Another phenomenal year. And I'm already looking forward to next year. So
agreed. So in recap, we've had a fantastic time at Chris Stapleton since we've last been around the table. We had ridiculously horrible weather, but came home to be able to watch, or actually stopped along the way to be able to check in with the Rivers Casino in Portsmouth, and then was able to come home and watch the WSOP together with our family. Really enjoyed it. It's been a fantastic week and can't wait to see what we've got over the next week.
All right. Well, let's touch base again next week then.
Sounds good, Joe. It's always good to be around the table with you.
All right. You too. And I will talk to you later.
Happy weekend.